I will pay 3 or 4 times as much as I did, knowing the results that I'm getting.
Before working with Sleep Science Academy, I tried almost everything. I tend to be very skeptical about a lot of claims of things in the health industry. I do a lot of research on supplements and all kinds of things, but really, Devin, over the last many years, I've pretty much been on every sleep supplement over the counter, including prescription, during my bout with insomnia. So I had also done a lot of research on healthy sleep routines, blue light blockers, face masks, earplugs. I was doing all that, showers before bed, just all those things, and they weren't working. So I was really frustrated. And I know there are a lot of people out there who have been dealing with this probably longer than I did. But I'm really thankful that I found you and we were able to work together and get through this.
Before Sleep Science Academy, I basically tried everything. Tried Valium. I tried different things like sleep hygiene, just trying to put everything together. Valerian root, melatonin, different herbal teas and things like that. And some of it would work a little, but it was not effective in getting good quality sleep. I simply think I wasn't getting down to the root of the problem. I was treating symptoms and not getting to the root of the problem, which was psychological for me, So, well, before the Sleep Science Academy, my sleep was maybe 4 to 5 hours. Basically, I would get, it was kind of choppy. Every now and then I would get maybe 5 to 6 hours of sleep, but the majority of the time it was like 4 to 5 hours, and I didn't feel good the next day at all. So, but after Sleep Science Academy, I'm getting like 7 hours of sleep.
Working with Devin helped me really get a clearer picture of all the things that could really help me to improve my sleep, and especially using the technology helped me to get a clear understanding of my improvements week by week. And so I can work longer, can work harder, have much more creative, and things get done much quicker. And this is for my business, but all my life has changed, all my life has improved because I feel happier, I have a better mood, and people like spending time with me. Can recommend it to people that suffer from insomnia, so people that really need to get better sleep for their health, but also for people that want to improve their energy, be more productive, more focused, and all people that want to have a better life, because sleep is a fundamental part of our life. So if you have a better sleep, for sure you have a better life.
Before Sleep Science Academy, my sleep was probably the number one issue or problem in my life that I was experiencing, with having to go to work with very little to no sleep sometimes, and not being able to function, to think clearly. I was very forgetful, and I didn't like sleeping. It caused a lot of anxiety, and I hated even going to bed. And the bed was a constant reminder of my problem. So it's just a horrible experience for me and this went on for years, in cycles, obviously, throughout the year. So after Sleep Science Academy now, right away, within 2 to 3 days of watching those modules and learning about sleep in a comprehensive way, I just have experienced an amazing turnaround in my sleep. Even though I've experienced so many different patterns of behaviors that were similar to before the program, I'm still able to sleep just thinking about the information that's on the modules. It has been an amazing experience, and I feel like I finally have gotten my sleep back. So I'm just so impressed with this program, and I highly recommend it to anybody that has insomnia or any sleep problems. So now that that I don't have a problem now with my insomnia, and I have finally conquered this problem, I feel like now I have the potential to go after my goals and dreams, and I just feel so happy, and I have so much more energy. I feel like now I can just do anything I want to do. I don't have that big, huge obstacle of not having sleep, because I didn't have the energy to do anything, and it was affecting my family, my household, my work. And once again, it was affecting my ability to go after my goals and dreams. And I feel like now the sky's the limit. I can do anything I want to do.
So before I started working with Sleep Science Academy, my sleep was pretty bad. I had suffered with pretty bad insomnia for about 8 months. And but really, even for years and years before that, I had been taking sleep supplements, again, some over-the-counter things.
I've been struggling for sleep for easily over a decade. As long as I can remember, sleep had been an issue. Sleep was something I absolutely dreaded. Going to sleep at night. It was always a battle. I mean, every morning I wake up feeling like I got hit by a freaking truck. And I have to say, since I've done the program with Devin, it's not like my sleep is perfect, but it's a hell of a lot better. I get at least an hour of deep restorative sleep every night, which is validated by my Oura Ring. And but most importantly, I don't dread sleep anymore. I actually enjoy it. I look forward to it. Yeah, maybe it's not perfect, but I actually have a much better relationship with it. I get much more consistent good sleep, and things have changed tremendously since my time with Devin. And to anyone considering him, you're somebody who actually knows what he's doing and actually cares. You could not have come to a better person. Enjoy your day.
This program is designed for anybody that has had a chronic insomnia issue, not something where people experience a hardship, a death, and they can't sleep for a week or two. No, this is for people that have had this problem for a while, 1, 2 years, 3 years. And I highly recommend it, because it made such a big difference for me. So definitely people that have those underlying conditions, that are constantly getting medication, they feel like they need to take something to go to sleep. Like if you have that urge, don't do anything, just go with Devin Burke and his Sleep Science Academy. Changing someone's life like this, it's amazing.
I've completed the program now for, I guess, about 3 weeks, and my sleep's been incredible. So just back up just a minute. And when I started with the program, Devin and I had a conversation about sort of where I was, and I was asking a lot of questions about different supplements and how to do this better. And Devin's comment was, well, that's really kind of phase 3. And so I didn't know what that meant, but I'm getting the amount of sleep I need with the amount of deep sleep, REM sleep, all those things. And it's been great. Really excited now.
Anybody who's going to try it, I recommend to have an open mind and don't expect a miracle the first few days. But as you go through a program, you'll start to see the improvement and everything. And once you start seeing the improvements, you go from sleeping 4 or 5 hours to maybe 5.5 or 6 hours. Then it gives you the confidence to know what you're doing is working. So I would say just recommend people have an open mind and put the work in, because it's not magic. You have to put the work in. You have to work hard, but in the end, it's worth it, because without sleep, again, you have nothing.
Before working with Sleep Science Academy, my sleep had been pretty rough for about 3 years straight. I was getting probably an average of 3 to 5 hours per night, some nights worse than that.
And in the last several weeks, I've seen a lot of improvement in my overall energy level, Work is going better, relationships going better, just everything. My fitness routine, I'm able to push myself a little bit more now. I've taken up some hobbies that I'd kind of gotten in a rut where it was just work, family, and trying to sleep, and which those are all really important things. But now I'm kind of venturing out, doing some new things, or taking up some things that I used to do that I haven't done in years, and really gotten excited about it. So it's been a real game changer.
I pretty much was trying like any natural remedy under the rainbow. So I think I had mentioned I was using a lot of like sleepy time teas, valerian root, I think like melatonin. I was using a lot of herbal like supplements to try to see if I could get my sleep back, but they weren't really working. Like some days they would work, other days they wouldn't. So I was just getting really frustrated about it.
I started with Ambien, went to Lunesta, went through some of the newer sleep drugs. All of them just would do a reverse on me. If anything, they'd make me more anxious. I would just be drugged, but not sleeping. And, cycling through one drug after another, I just got more and more hopeless.
It started about 12 years ago when I was in grad school. A lot of things going through my mind at night. So it was hard to shut the brain off. It got to a point where I was trying all the King's Horsemen and all the King's Men to try to fix that. And, that's when I started trying medication, but I'd start waking up groggy and stuff like that. I think it got to a point where, I'm like, the medication's not working. And you're lying there and you can hear the tick of the clock in the middle of the night. And you're nervous about when you're going to fall asleep. And I remember trying to almost will sleep, like a Sith or a Jedi, like I'm going to will this sleep to happen. And the more that I willed that sleep, the more it never came. And it was a vicious cycle. It was a vicious cycle. And then I'd come home from work and I'm like, okay, I'm exhausted. Today's going to be the day. No sleep.
But I've thought about it some, and I would tell you that I believe that had I not found you, that 8 or 9 years from now, I would still be dealing with pretty severe sleep issues. So because of that, I think whether it's someone who's been really struggling with sleep for a couple months to several years, that you're going to try all the things that I tried, and you're likely to find that they don't work. Probably some people watching this have tried literally more than I did, which I think was a lot, and it's not working. And I can tell you the number one reason is because, as I discovered through your help, that there are underlying issues that you haven't dealt with, that the people that are watching this who are struggling with sleep, and maybe again have been for many years, there are underlying issues that need to be tackled before that phase 3, as you called it early on, in terms of getting things dialed in and tweaking. But until that, I realized that those underlying issues not being dealt with were going to cause me sleep issues for many years to come had we not tackled them head on.
So before working with Sleep Science Academy, my sleep looked very disjointed, where sometime during the night I would wake up and I would be up for 1, 2, 3 hours. And then still often would wake up early in the morning anyway, even if I had just been up for a good chunk of the night. And it was not pretty, and it was really impacting, right, my mood, my energy, and really thought it was what I was stuck with in life, that I was going to be a poor sleeper for forever, like an affliction almost. So now I can say with a smile that I am not waking up for long periods of time during the night, and sleeping probably on average 7.5 hours a night, feeling more rested, more energized, and happier.
Without sleep, you have nothing. You know what I'm saying? So basically my quality of life has been elevated.
For the most part, it's 90% better, it's 95% better, and
the course was so easy to understand, and it was easy to go through. You made it very easy to digest. So you package things up in these modules that really kind of give you like aha moments, especially when I did the whole section about like the psychology aspect. That really kind of like just flipped on the switch. I'm like, okay, yeah, that makes sense. That's why, you know, I'm not getting the quality sleep that I want because of A, B, and C. I think by my second week, I was already starting to like my sleep with quality and the sleep efficiency was like leagues better.
be a daily thought of mine, like, you know, oh my God, am I going to sleep well tonight? Like, I have insomnia. It's just, my mindset about sleep has completely changed.
I don't usually write reviews. I don't usually do testimonials, but I just thought, hey, if this can help one person who watches this that says, you know, let me reach out to him, schedule that initial consultation, see where it goes. Hey, I'll be happy.
Once, you know, I was able to go through the course and recover and get my sleep back, it's like my energy's back. I'm my old self. I'm happier, you know, I'm eating healthier, or at least trying to. I feel like anybody who's suffering from sleep issues, but you just have to go in with an open mind and be willing to put in the work, because in the end, like, the effort's on you. Like, you can have the course, but if you don't want to put in the time and practice the teachings from each module, then you're not going to see the results. Like, I mean, I put everything in place and I was able to get my sleep back in 2 weeks. So if I can do it, like, anyone can. Listen, I don't think I would have been where I am right now if it wasn't for your help and your teaching. So thank you.
Connected with me. I just immediately felt like, okay, it's going to be okay now.
Mm-hmm.
Because, you know, I felt like I had a tangible tool, you know, a tangible resource that, you know, would finally bring that relief before I just felt like my anxiety just started to diminish about, you know, the whole sleep thing. I just felt like, okay, someone's holding my hand through this, and now I don't have to feel like I'm doing this alone. And there's real tangible tools that I can start to incorporate into my daily life. And so, you know, I no longer feared the going to bed and wondering what the night was going to be like.
And probably about that second or third week mark, I started noticing pretty significant improvements in my sleep.
When it comes to the support that came from this program, to show, like, if it's cool with you, like, talking about, like, within the first week, we started looking at the way that I attach my emotions onto that bed, and really the anxiety that it was causing me. And we really started coming up with alternatives to, well, what can the bed do for you, or dissociating those associations.
Yeah.
I cannot believe it still, but within the first seven days of the program, I was falling asleep, you know, and that was really really amazing.
A coach can really help. Finding somebody to support you can really help. And not, a lot of these things, a lot of the side effects of insomnia or a lot of the things that come along with insomnia, which could range from depression to anxiety, all those things. It's important that you have somebody that you can reach out to that knows a lot about that and has helped other people through it. And not that I want to say that anybody would be creating a burden on any of their family members, but they don't likely know more than you do. And they can be supportive, but you need somebody that really knows how to navigate these waters and that has helped other people through them. Because when you're lost, and somebody's got a map that can take you to where you want to go, or at least closer, then you need to follow that person.
Step at a time, one day at a time, just started moving through this. And then I found myself, advancing forward and having better nights. And then, having the aura ring that was like proof in my face that I was sleeping better. Now I've seen that sleep efficiency just move way up into the 90s. Mm-hmm. And a lot of the red lines disappearing, and seeing, wow, now this is real proof that I really am sleeping. I'm sleeping like a normal person, and I'm starting to get into a pattern of sleep.
Besides having more energy and being happier, I'd say it's increased my creativity, productivity, and engagement at work. There's some other areas of my life that it's helped me get unstuck, so to speak, where maybe I was stalled or disorganized. And so I've gotten things done that I had put off for years. It's just great. It's not the first question that the people in my inner circle ask me in the morning anymore, which is, how'd you sleep? It had become such a thing. So, and it's not right top of mind for me anymore either. So it's really nice.
My experience working with Sleep Science Academy has been amazing. Working with Devin he's just an extremely easy guy to work with. He's very good with people. He understands people extremely well and how to help people, and he has a passion for helping people. And I think that's what makes Sleep Science Academy so great. It's just, working with Devin and his knowledge on sleep and just knowing that he's there for you and that he's giving you the tools to succeed.
Before trying the Sleep Science Academy, I think I've tried everything in the book. Everything from medications to psychotherapy, to buying a new bed, to buying pillows that guarantee that you're going to go to sleep, to sleep masks, you name it, and it's got the word sleep on it, and it shows up in my Facebook feed now because it's like automatic click for me. Meditation music at the end of the day. You name it and I've tried it.
My sleep is so much better. So consistently I'm getting about between 7.5 hours, sometimes more. But I'm falling asleep every night. There's way less stress around my sleep. And I'm waking up more refreshed, and able to have more of a, just a consistency to my days and predictability, which I did not have before.
A multitude of areas which this program addresses, and it's psychological, and it's physical, and it's emotional. And you really have to learn how to deal with all three of those in a way that's going to get you where you need to go. And part of the physical part or yeah, I guess I don't know how to bucket this one 100%, but it's behavioral. There's some behavioral things that you need to implement that can help you kick out of a cycle that you've been in for a while.
Before Sleep Science Academy, I tried a lot of things that, I mean, it won't work much actually. I tried, meditations. I talked to, I go to, one time I went to psychiatrist also. It won't have helped much. I take medicines. Lots of medicines, sleeping medicines, then these antidepressant medicines, which just works for a short time actually. When I take it, it was good. Then when I stopped it, it is like I always struggle to have my sleep. Yeah, before Sleep Science Academy program, my sleep was like, if it was a good, for me, the good sleep was 3 hours. And 1 hour, 1.5 hours like that. Then good sleep was 3 hours. That's all. I mean, for me, if I had 3 hours of sleep, okay, then thank God I had sleep, 3 hours of sleep. But I feel really weak. I feel really bad next morning. I don't have the energy to do the things. I have 2 kids I have to watch, but for me, it was really a challenge.
My life has improved since I've been sleeping better. It's improved in every aspect. I mean, I feel better every day. I'm hanging out with friends more. I'm hanging out with my family more. I am being able to be more productive in my business life more. Just things are positive all the way around. I'm exercising more. Just, you know, my general outlook on life is much more positive.
And what I've realized coming off the sleep medications is that my body has suddenly come back to its own natural circadian rhythm.
Yes.
And so now at like 10 o'clock at night, or maybe earlier than that, I am sleepy.
Before working with Sleep Science Academy, I tried many things. Everything from trying to do it on my own, as far as trying to reduce the medication. I've talked to doctors about it who weren't really able to help, other than giving me additional medication to help me sleep. So it's been a very frustrating process. And this was the first process that I felt really had an approachable game plan that I can execute on.
Right after I start, I can say, and you know it, Devin, 3 days later, I was so surprised because the first 3 days I was so anxious, but how can I stop that? And how can I stop that? And I did. And I stopped the melatonin and I stopped everything else I did. And 3-4 days later, I just started to sleep. And since then I'm sleeping. My experience working with Sleep Science Academy is absolutely a success. I have no words to describe my appreciation of actually finding you and you being the one helping me get back to a normal night's sleep. It has changed everything. It changed my life. It changed me as a mother. It changed me as a wife. It changed me as myself. I got myself back. I didn't just get my sleep back. And that's what's even more important. We don't realize, because when you don't sleep, there's so much that you can see and understand. And all of a sudden, when you're starting to sleep a relaxing night, even when stressful moments come up, you're able to overcome them.
It's amazing. I mean, what is it? Content this is the content of the slides, you won't get anything anywhere else. So it's a research. I can see that it's so many things you cannot see on net or something like that. You cannot get this thing. So it's an amazing content it has. So please, Sleep Science Academy is the thing that everyone can, whoever under stress or I think insomnia, they can go for it.
This program is designed for a lot of people dealing with insomnia, and it goes deeper than the insomnia. It kind of helps. It's helped me with a lot of different aspects of life that go beyond insomnia. But anybody out there that's dealt with minor insomnia, maybe the occasional night or two here or there, to somebody who's a chronic insomniac that deals with it every night and has dealt with it for years, like me. I think this program can apply to that full spectrum of people that have had sleep issues.
The whole concept of being able to sleep without sleep medication, I didn't think was doable until I went through this program, which was very clear and succinct and walked me through the right process to not only get off the medication, but feeling really good about myself sleeping without the medication.
I can't wait to go to bed because I'm sleepy tired. I've never been sleepy tired. I can go to bed at night and number one, I don't fear the night. I just go to bed and I fall asleep. More times than not, I fall asleep quickly. That kind of wakefulness in the night has also, gone away. It's so wonderful to wake up in the morning and feel like I can remember my name. I have a memory that is serving me now instead of feeling like half my brain was gone. It just feels, I feel more youthful because for one thing, I can remember things. I don't feel like I'm 90 years old and I have dementia. It was, and I used to apologize all the time for, I'm sorry, I can't remember. And it would be, my short-term memory would just be terrible. And I was always apologizing for not being able to remember something. I was embarrassed by that because it's like, oh my gosh, how could I forget that, And so now I don't feel handicapped that way. And I feel like I can start the day feeling refreshed, like I've had my battery charged, and I can get up and get into the day, and I don't have to be frustrated because I don't have my mind attached to me. And just, having the physical energy and the emotional energy to go through the day. So I just feel like I have this renewed sense of being and wellness where I can meet the day and meet people, and I have the resources on board that I need just to function like a normal, healthy being. It's wonderful. I call it a miracle because it truly is a miracle when you've struggled with something all of your life and suddenly, it's not a struggle anymore. It's not a big issue. I don't feel like I'm handicapped. I don't feel like I have to make excuses for how I'm living my life anymore because now the problem is not the problem anymore. Well,
we took an assessment at the very beginning of this, and it was, how's your energy? And I was like, energy's awesome, man. It can't get any better. And then I get a couple nights rest and I'm like, dude, I was tired.
I would say there's hope, and that this sleep program is completely worth it. And if I had to share one other aspect is I never once questioned the investment that I made in it. And I just think that says a lot.
I wasn't ever getting more than 6 hours of sleep at night. And I was so thankful if I did, but a lot of nights I was getting 4 or less and sometimes not sleeping at all, which were the scariest. And so it was just so much stress around my sleep.
Getting on a path was something that was very important to me at the beginning, so that I could, feel like I was walking down a path instead of just, being lost completely and not having a direction.
What my sleep was like before this program was that I was very, very dependent on taking a sleep med before going to bed. So psychologically, I could not sleep without taking a sleep medication. And so just going to sleep was very anxiety driven. And especially if I didn't have my sleep medication with me, it was even escalated more so. And so, but that's all I was used to doing over the past 10 years, and I couldn't find a way out.
I've been able to play with my kids again. It's the best part. The best part is that I laugh a lot. And that is something that I lost because I think when I lost all my sleep, it was more just, I'm just so grateful. I'm so grateful to be here present. But now I'm enjoying the present, and I am really able to, I'm just so thankful. And so every morning I wake up, it's just giving me a whole new thankfulness.
I did not believe that this can happen to me. And if this can happen to me, and I'm a person who suffers from anxiety, and after a week I'm sleeping, then this program is absolutely designed for every person who says to himself, I'm done. I'm done with the sleepless nights. I'm done with destroying my nights myself. I'm ready to get help.
I would recommend it really to anybody who is struggling, especially people who feel like they're just at the end of their rope and they just can't live life this way anymore. And getting your hands on a resource that gives you the how-to, gives you the tools, it takes you step by step. The modules were great to listen to, and those modules would play over and over in my head, from week to week. It's like, oh yeah, I remember Devin talking about this. Okay, now I'm going to put this into practice today.
Amazing.
So I recommend it to anybody. It's just been a wonderful, miraculous thing to come into my life. And I'm just forever grateful, Devin, for the work that you do in this field and how you're helping people and how needful it is that people have a resource like what you've made available. It's just been life-changing. It's miraculous to me.
I immediately saw results. If there were days where I didn't honor it or didn't do it, I immediately fell back. I mean, it's that simple. When you take care of those lower needs, you're eating right, you're sleeping right, those higher levels of self-actualization automatically come. And I can't be more thankful for this program for getting me back to a point where everything is my muse.
And to me, it was definitely worth the time, the effort, and the money.
After Sleep Science Academy, when I joined, then within a week, I can sleep 6 hours, 7 hours, sometimes 8 hours too.
It's totally worth it. It's such a good program. As soon as I started the program, I was like, everyone needs to hear this.
Having a lot of those ups and downs is important that I had a coach there. I think that, Devin did a great job managing those ups and downs and being responsive to when I needed some more attention and, being able to offer some good mental strategies to get me over the hurdle in some really, really challenging times.
It's a miracle. After joining Sleep Science Academy, a miracle happened actually. It's a miracle. It's life-changing.
This program is designed for anybody that's struggled with insomnia, whether it's been consistent or inconsistent, especially people like me who have been dependent on some form of medication to help them sleep. I can speak to that personally because, I went through it myself and I've come out on the other side where it's been great not having to be dependent on any sleep medication.